Hello viewers, I'm Anna.
And I'm Sheena. Welcome to Centrally Speaking. Centrally Speaking is a program that opens up the conversation around important matters of economics and finance, matters of national importance that have an impact on your life.
We hope you've been watching and learning about the role and function of the central bank and its effort to stabilize the economy.
On today's program, we will speak with the Governor of Central Bank of Jamaica, Richard Byles, who will speak to us about the state of the economy. Anna, a little birdie told me that Mr. Byles does not like to be videoed or doesn't like to see himself on TV.
No, so that couldn't true.
What's my here?
Governor up on TV almost every day.
Regular celebrity.
But Mega ask him when we come back. But first, let's hear from our friends in the streets. How prepared are you for a change in your financial status? For example, a job loss or a pay cut?
You have to save, you know. You have to save. If I even silver, so I have something to put on for rainy days. When you grow, your mother used to tell you about rainy days. Well, this is the real rainy day when the rain not fall, you know. So always, everybody will do a business or a work, have to have something to put on one side. If I no paper money, I have to be silver. You know what I mean? So you know, so you have to shake up that little saving pan and say, come in.
To be honest, I wasn't quite prepared for this financial crisis that we're now in. However, this has really taught us to know how to literally put our stuff behind for rainy day, because you never know what can happen, as we can now see.
Not prepared, none at all. Not right now. Since COVID started, I max out all my savings. Literally not prepared. I just like hand to mouth right now. As we get paid, we just plan out for like the week ahead or the fortnight ahead. Easy, just buy up some groceries and bus fare and all of them things.
Generally for me, I'm always saving, So I believe that I will be able to sustain myself for a while. Furthermore, I have several businesses as well that I always generate income from as well. So I believe that should be fine for me. I can't speak about anybody else, but for me, I believe that I'll be relatively okay.
Not really prepare much, but because I'm an hairdresser and a lot of people not coming out to do hair much. Most people doing braiding, and I'm not a braidist, and most people doing hair at home. They have a cousin or an auntie or something, somebody can just buy some relaxer and put in the hair. So hairdresser like myself, not really prepare much. We don't know what is gonna happen down the road for us.
Oh, prepared can we get? You know what I mean? Unless you did wealthy before. You understand? Because a poor man in Jamaica, we are hustle today, for eat today. You know what I mean? Oh, him a go prepare feed.
Welcome back to Centrally Speaking. The state of the economy is on everybody's mind, and who better to give us an update on our current financial status and where we are headed than Richard Byles, Governor of the Bank of Jamaica. Governor Byles, welcome to Centrally Speaking.
Thank you for having me.
Governor, look, Birdie tell me say you don't like watch yourself on TV,
Yeah, I never do. But with you two ladies, maybe I'll do it.
So Governor, the last time you were here, you spoke to us about BOJ's efforts towards becoming independent. Would you like to give us an update on where that is at the moment?
Right, independent, capable, I prefer to say capable. Why do I say that? Because part of the changes that will happen with Bank of Jamaica is that we'll get two very important new committees. One that has to do with framing monetary policy and one that has to do with supervision of the financial system. And they will have independent persons on them, Jamaicans who have some skill in either monetary policy or monetary or financial regulation.
Right.
And so we'll have a committee with independent persons, and those committees will make the decisions, not just the governor. So there's a bit of democratization that will happen, as well as improving the capacity by bringing on independent, knowledgeable Jamaicans. Now, where is it in Parliament? It's done with the Joint Select Committee, I think just for the committee to put its report on the floor of the House. Been delayed a couple of months because of the COVID-19. It was pretty much ready at the beginning of this year, but we haven't had any sit-ins on it in the last 3 months.
No, the big elephant in the room has to do with foreign exchange. Since March 2020, we have seen the value of the dollar depreciate significantly. Can you tell us what is causing this and what can we do to better manage it?
Well, the dollar hasn't depreciated in a straight line. It's gone up and down, but yes, over the period of time, it has lost value. And the reason is simple. During this COVID-19 period where tourism is at a halt, big flow of foreign exchange that normally comes to the market is not there.
Right.
No tourists, so no foreign exchange from that source. Remittances have been pretty good, so all those Jamaicans abroad working have kept supporting Jamaica and Jamaicans.
That is good.
It's only down about 5% from them.
Okay.
But the tourism business is really bad. But we have been trying to manage it as best as possible. You know that over the years we have built up reserves.
Right.
And we have always said we have to build these reserves because there will be a day when we'll need to sell into the market because, we always say maybe a hurricane. We now have a hurricane of a different kind.
Yes, a pandemic.
COVID-19.
Right.
Yeah, so we've been selling into the market, and in the last 3 months, in one way or another, either through swaps, selling straight into the market, doing repos, lowering the cash reserve on foreign currency, we have put nearly 400 million into the market.
Okay.
So Bank of Jamaica has been playing a very active role in supplying dollars to the market because we know that the supply is short.
So, Governor, you were just explaining that the shortfall from tourism has been significant, but remittances have basically remained stable.
Yeah.
We heard recently from PIOJ that the economy is expected to contract about 14%. What kind of response does BOJ have to that? 40%.
Yeah, the 40% contraction PIOJ is talking about is in the first quarter up to June. So that's April to June.
Right.
But we expect the economy to gradually restore itself after that.
Right.
So many people are going back to work June 1, and I expect that the second quarter to September and then the third quarter to December and the fourth to March next year will be stronger quarters as we go along. So overall, I think that we'll probably contract somewhere between 5 and 7%, not the 14%. The first quarter is the worst, but it gradually gets better as we go along.
The first quarter
Of COVID.
Right.
All right, Governor, a lot has been said about monetary policy, which I understand are the tools that Bank of Jamaica uses to meet its inflation target. What I think our viewers would like to know is what information goes into setting monetary policy?
When we look at the stage that the Jamaican economy is at, the economists come up with an inflation figure that is most appropriate for the stage of development of our economy and for the growth that we want to achieve. And the Bank of Jamaica aims to achieve that number. And how does it do it? It does it through interest rates. So the banks have to put all of their cash at the end of the day with us.
Right.
And it's that rate that we pay to them that we adjust up and down. And that's a signal to them to either lend more or not to lend more. So when we lower the rates that we offer them, it suits them to lend it out to customers, like you both, to businesses and to individuals. And what that does is stimulate the economy.
So, Governor, a lot of businesses have experienced significant fallout, no more than the productive sector. Can BOJ issue a directive to commercial banks, especially to lend to the productive sector to shore up their economic, if you want to call it, rejuvenation after the height of the pandemic?
No, we can't issue that kind of directive. The productive sector and everybody, you and I, are customers of the bank. And as business people, I think it's in their best interest to look after the customers because ultimately it's the customers that are going to make them profitable and keep them in business. And I think, they have been doing a pretty good job as far as I can see in accommodating businesses and individuals who have borrowed from them.
So we've been hearing a lot about FX swap arrangements, and now we're hearing about repo facilities. Can you share with us how the FX swap arrangements work, and is it different from repo?
Yes, a swap is different to a repo. Okay. A swap is that you have Jamaican dollars and I have US dollars. Right? I swap it with you for a period of time. Right? So let's say 3 months. And we swap at the exchange rate that exists right now.
Okay.
And we agree to swap back at an exchange rate which is the rate we did the original transaction at. Okay. Plus the interest differential between Jamaican dollars and US dollars. That's a little complication, but it's simply the difference between what the US LIBOR rate is and what the Jamaican Treasury bill rate is. Okay. So we add that to the transaction price today, and that's a price that we swap back at in 3 months' time.
So that helps to make.
What that does is that it provides dollars to someone who needs the dollars, and gives me the comfort that I can get back my dollars because I have your Jamaican and you have agreed to swap it back with me later. Okay. So it's a way to put temporary liquidity in the market. It goes in, it comes out. It can go back in and it comes out back again. Now a repo is different. A repo is, let us say, some institution owns government of Jamaica sovereign bond. So these are bonds that are issued in US dollars. And they want to sell it to me temporarily. So they sell it to the Bank of Jamaica temporarily and I give them the cash. I hold that security. So that's another way for me to put cash in the market and my collateral is that security. Okay. After 90 days, 6 months, we agree to reverse it. So I will give them back their security and they provide me back with the dollars.
So and BOJ only does this with commercial banks?
We do it with any authorized dealer. So commercial banks, and we do it also with securities dealers. Okay.
The last time you were here, Governor, I believe you hinted at the regulatory sandbox, and you didn't want to say much. Do you have an update for us?
Sandbox, yes. So we launched that a couple of weeks ago. And what that is designed to do is to say, if you have a financial technology idea that you want to test, bring it and put it in this little play area, right, and let us see how it works. It's a area that is ring fenced off, so that it, just like a sandbox, so that it can't cause trouble and contaminate all over the economy. But we can see, does it work? What are the hitches? What's good about it? What do we like? What don't we like?
So it has users that testing and so on at the same time?
Right. So it allows us to see the good and the bad, the pretty and the ugly in the idea, and to frame legislation to govern it, and to help the proponents of it to tweak it and make it better.
Wow.
Learned a lot today.
Yeah, that was a mouthful. Governor Byles, thank you so much, as always, for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
The updates were well received. Thank you for the efforts the Bank of Jamaica is making in ensuring that we recover the economy in the shortest possible time.
Well, we're doing our best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, too.
Thank you. And there you have it, viewers. That was Governor Richard Byles with a comprehensive update on the economy.
Foreign exchange was one of the topics we discussed. By the way, do you know what the oldest currency in the world is? It's time for our fun fact.
The British pound sterling is the world's oldest currency still in use. The pound was 1 unit of currency from as early as 775 AD in Anglo-Saxon England, equivalent to 1 pound weight of silver. This was a vast fortune in the 8th century. Athelstan, the first king of England, adopted the sterling as the first national currency. He set up mints around the country to supply the growing nation. Speaking of monarchs, the Guinness World Record for the individual featured on the most currencies is held by Queen Elizabeth II. She is pictured on the money of at least 35 countries, all part of the British Commonwealth. The symbol used to denote the pound sterling has Latin roots. The Latin word for pound is libra. The pound symbol is a stylized writing of the letter L, a short way of writing libra. From quits to tenors, the pound sterling currency is made up of several coins and notes. Also in existence, but not publicly circulated, are £1 million and £100 million notes. These are known as giants and titans respectively. The pound sterling is the fourth most traded currency in the foreign exchange market.
Today's conversation with Governor Byles gave us some updates on initiatives being undertaken by the bank to ensure our economic recovery and even stability. It's now time for the fast facts. Whew. Number one, the bill to amend the Bank of Jamaica Act is still being reviewed by the Joint Select Committee of Parliament. The next step is for the report of the Joint Select Committee to be tabled in Parliament. Number two, the weakening of the Jamaica dollar against the US dollar has reflected the imbalance between the demand for US dollars and the said supply. This is no different from any other market. Number three, the government has been successful in its application to the IMF for support of US $520 million under the Rapid Financing Instrument, otherwise called RFI. Number four, BOJ introduced the foreign exchange swap arrangement in January. This is a new instrument intended to enhance the bank's management of the foreign exchange market and provide US dollar liquidity to the market through authorized dealers. And number five, Bank of Jamaica has developed guidelines for the establishment of a Fintech regulatory sandbox, sandbox for short, to encourage innovations in financial product services, promote competition and financial inclusion. That's it for today's Fast Facts. And that's our program for this week.
Follow us on Twitter at Central Bank JA or on BOJ's Facebook page and or YouTube channel. You can also visit our website at www.boj.org.jm.
We also invite you to send your questions on Twitter or post your comments to Facebook.
And of course, watch us again next week at the same time right here on your station when we will have another special guest.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Sheena.
Thanks for watching.
Centrally Speaking is a production of Bank of Jamaica.